You want me to introduce Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
great.
you guys just wing this, huh?
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Lee from the Oshkosh Beer Blog.
I'm Adam from McKnight Carlson Wines.
And with us today is Kevin Bowen, the brewmaster from the Fox River Brewing Company here in Oshkosh and Appleton. And you'd think we'd be drinking Kevin's beer, but we're not this morning. We're drinking Celebration by Sierra Nevada. This is their fresh hop IPA. And the reason we're drinking this is because, Kevin, one time we were talking, and you mentioned to me that this is the beer that made you want to be a brewer.
This is a beer that taught me about hops. I kind of got a beer bug around German beers first, and was working in the brewery and got introduced to this American hoppy beer, and yeah, that it was I'm a hophead. I'm a
You
self-proclaimed
take a look at your lineup
hophead,
of beers
for sure.
right now and
Yeah.
definitely pick up on that. But
Yeah.
I think this is kind of like quintessential IPA for a lot of people.
Well-
I mean, there's a lot of buzz surrounding this beer every year when it comes out.
This is pretty much, this beer was first brewed in 1981.
Okay.
So that's
Far ahead of its time.
way ahead of its time. And it's a pretty classic hop bill of Cascade, Chinook, and Centennial.
Yeah, that's a hop bill you really don't see much anymore. It's weird. I mean, that was even as little as 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That was kind of standard, I would think.
Well, like you just were able to give that information. It was information that was available back when I was learning about making beer. So I've tried to kind of emulate this all through the years, like Cascade, Centennial, Chinook. That's a great pairing. That's a classic pairing.
Totally.
Going back to when I first started, some of today's hops that people are really familiar with, they weren't around. Centennial, Chinook, those were some of the heavy lifters
I think
in any IPA.
I think those have
back
kind of
then.
taken a back seat now because they're not quite as showy or over the top as a Mosaic or a Citra. Which is sad because they definitely have a unique character to them, and
We should mention, so Sierra Nevada calls this a fresh hop IPA. So they're not wet hops. These are hops that are picked and dried and then used within 7 days of the harvest from the field. So, and like the first thing that always grabbed me about this, like I remember the first time I had it, and you don't associate an IPA with a Christmas sort of beer, but
No.
I always get that big evergreen aroma, that always with the red color and that piney kind
The
of thing.
spruce
It is
tips
kind of
and everything.
evocative.
Yeah, the distinctive red color is something that has always been a part of this beer, and that malt balance body is something that's really appealing about this. I don't know that it's always even been referred to necessarily as an IPA. Maybe it has always, but it kind of walks the line of being a really hoppy American amber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it does have a substantial malt backbone to it.
It's not super caramely. It's not overly sweet. It fits right in the world of IPA, but that depth of color and that malt base is really what makes this supremely balanced beer.
There is a big bitterness here. It's not pulverizing, but
I
it's
think
definitely
that would be
prominent.
in line with Sierra Nevada's house style. Every beer that they make, you get that kind of residual bitterness. Whether it's Imperial Stout, obviously Bigfoot barley wine. That beer it takes about 7 to 10 years for the hops to drop off it, I think. So that for me is always synonymous with Sierra Nevada.
What you're saying about with the balance, that bitterness and that there's almost a creaminess, like a toffee kind of creaminess to the malt flavor. It just goes so well together.
But that's one of the things about a graceful IPA. You can make them really top heavy on the aroma, really super aggressive on the bitterness, but bringing a balance to it. This one isn't exotic aroma hops.
No.
It's classic American aroma hops, but they bring that distinctive layer of piney, evergreen, like you guys are saying, along with that. It's not as over-the-top citrus as today's Citra and Mosaic hops.
Yeah.
But you get that from that floral citrus from the Cascade, Centennial, and just Chinooks are always kind of catty, and
definitely
bring that pine evergreen in as well. So
you say that about it being catty. I wonder, like in 1981, when people were getting this for the first time,
what the hell they
this
thought.
had to just like
this
off-putting.
As
blowing
a fresh
people
hop,
away.
I'd say this beer varies every year. It's a unique beer year to year, which is one of the exciting
based
things.
on the hop crop, or
Based on the hop crop, yep. I mean, it's a very similar beer every year, but it's definitely not like their pale ale where they try to recreate exactly the same thing every time. This one has a migration. In some years, the bitterness is less. This one, I'd say the fresh hop character is very bright and evident this year. That
it's funny you say that, because I think this tastes different than the one I had last year. I mean, Obo's Lounge is always like the first in the city to put this beer on tap when it comes out, and I remember last year it had a lot more kind of punchy bitterness to it. I'm not, maybe it's, again, had the conversation before about having beer early in the morning, how our palate changes throughout the day, and it definitely tastes different than last year.
We're not supposed to tell people you're early in the morning. No.
It's about 9:20 right now.
Yeah, doing all right. So, we got to talk about what you've got going on. So this is the 20th anniversary. Fox River Brewing Company opened in Oshkosh on December 15th, 1995. So we're coming up on that date. You guys have been celebrating it all kind of year, but now things are kind of really taking off. What do you got? What are some things you want to get into with
December? It's the 2nd today. We're want to have some really cool things right at our anniversary, but the whole month is going to be us releasing some cellared beers, some fresh experiments, some single one-off kegs that we hope to cycle them throughout the month. The list is pretty long.
Cool.
I've got
That's awesome.
some barrel-aged beers I've been aging, just some general mainstay type things that I've aged. Last year when we did our big brew with the local home brewers, the Pumpernickel Rye, I set a keg aside.
That'll be interesting to see
we'll
how
whip
that
that one
ages.
out.
Yeah.
That wasn't a big beer by any means, not the type of thing that you maybe think of aging, but the
intensely
earthiness,
flavored.
the earthiness of that beer I thought would go well with generally what you get with aging is a little bit of oxidation, and the beer already had a inherent earthy quality with the caraway and the rye that age would probably serve it well. The caraway was really fresh and bright when we tapped it when we first brewed it, and I thought it could balance.
See how that
tone down a little bit.
Well.
So are most of these beers going to be served out of the tap room, or will they be at the main bar?
Well, right now we do have. We're trying to get our whole lineup expanded down in the tap room because we rebranded it. We really want to focus on getting a lot of our unique experimental beers down there, but it's not the case right now. We have a few extra lines up in the restaurant.
Okay.
So that's where we have kind of the one and done lines. That's where you'll see them up in the main bar.
Do you have any cask tappings scheduled for December at all?
I do have a cask that we may be tapping.
Well, you let me know. We'll put it out on the blog.
I wish I had a date.
If that happens. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
But and you also have beers here at Gardenia's right now from Fox River Brewing Company. You have the School Days
IPA. Yep.
Cool. Hi, guy.
Hey.
We're used to this.
Yeah. Low budget.
So you have the School Days IPA. You want to talk about that, Kevin?
Yeah, that was. He's got the last keg around. It's been
tasting great.
Drained everywhere else. That was kind of a very similar fresh hop. It wasn't as fresh as this, but really recent crop. And I had just got in some of the really sought after Mosaic.
Sure.
And that featured Mosaic and Simcoe hops, I believe. So we released that when school started. Back to school. You need a good reason to get back out to you get out of your day of school and
Go have a big IPA.
teachers,
Wash it away.
Get a nice fresh IPA.
So then in January, you'll be back to doing your cask tappings again, and then you'll have a Fox River beer here for that.
We're pausing on the Gardenia's Beer Bar series for December just because of the holidays, but in January we'll be featuring Fox River Brewing Company. We'll be doing a cask tapping to be determined and a mini tap takeover in addition to our chef's tasting menu. So we're really very much looking forward to that. Kevin, I'm sure, will pull out all the stops for that.
Yeah, I hope to work close and have this one be a nice local synergy with that food menu and our beer choices.
Yeah.
Maybe reverse engineer it where we can not just tell you what beers you have.
That's nice working on the local level. A lot of times we don't obviously have that option. So
yeah.
Okay, before we get out of here, I have a trivia question.
Okay.
What year was the first IPA brewed at Fox River Brewing Company? 1997.
Really?
Yeah, so they used 19 pounds of East Kent Golding hops for an English style IPA. So that's pretty early for a brew pub to be doing an IPA in 1997. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, cool. All right, Kevin. Well,
Kevin,
happy
thanks a lot.
anniversary.
All right. Cheers.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bros.